What's good, y'all? Blacksmith here, and you know what time it is. We got another Blumhouse movie here called Imaginary, and y'all already know how I feel about Blumhouse. I don't really expect much from them, but this movie looked kind of good, so I was actually looking forward to reviewing this one. So, no more wasting time, let's get into it. Imaginary is about a woman who moves back into her childhood home, and her stepdaughter finds a stuffed bear named Chauncey, who becomes her very violent imaginary friend. Now, Chauncey is telling this little girl to do a variety of things, from stealing from other people to hurting herself, and it just gets wild from there. Now, if you saw the trailer like I did, you definitely thought it was going to be an interesting movie. And to a certain degree, it really is, and they were able to pull off a bunch of the imaginary friend themes pretty well. Now, when it comes to the pros and the cons of this movie, they're both pretty much one and the same. Let me explain. The concept of a horror movie that is based around the theme of an imaginary friend, or really anything imaginary, makes sense just as much as it is ridiculous. In the beginning, a lot of the horror themes were there because you see this little girl talking to a stuffed bear and telling everyone around her that the bear is telling her to do things, and it gets to the point where it almost seems as if she's possessed. So a lot of the horror movie themes were there in a very good way. But on the flip side, the ridiculousness of this theme comes out during the climax. When they actually discover what Chauncey really is, and it's more than an imaginary friend and whatnot, it just becomes a little bit more ridiculous in that very Disney Channel movie kind of way. Because they start talking about you got to use your imagination, you got to be creative and whatnot. It just sounded like something from a Disney Channel original movie. But really, I think you can overlook the ridiculousness once you get down to the violence and some of the action parts of the movie. You kind of forgive the fact that it's got a little corny towards the beginning of the climax, because by the end of it, you're like, this is actually serious. The cast did a great job playing their characters, the production quality was on point, and the suspense was on point. So I will say this, after the last two bombs that Blumhouse put out, which were The Exorcist Believer and Night Swim, this one was actually a very well-balanced movie from them. It had a great balance of humor and suspense. Even though some of the ridiculousness was on the side of suspense, it was still an enjoyable movie and a step in the right direction for Blumhouse. And that's all I got to say for this one. Let me know if you plan on seeing this movie. Let me know if you've seen it and what you thought about it. Let me know what you thought about this review, and give your boy a follow. I appreciate it. And until next time, peace.